a lot.
Gwen, I love you.
All right, everybody, welcome to Gamers Paradise. I'm going. Drew, take the floor. Love you guys all. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't reveal too much juiciness while I'm gone.
Thank you, Sandy. Hello, loungers. I am here with the loungers. Some of the loungers from the game. We are all here. It's the night before the finale. Tomorrow is the finale. We are meeting with a couple of the loungers. We are going to discuss both the final two, where people will sway people's opinions, things like that. But I definitely do want to welcome our loungers. So our lounger from way back when is here, Brittany, our #1 queen of the lounge. Hi. Hello, Brittany. And right after Brittany was the king of the lounge, Mr. Alan. Alan is here with us. Hey, Alan. And then we also do have the queen herself as well, which is Tamika. Hello, Tamika. And then we have Mr. Smiley over there, Jordan. Jordan is here as well. And then our most recent and final lounger who was just debugged by Sophie, which is Erica. Erica is here as well. Now, these 5, we are going to have some open discussions. We're going to start just in general and how you feel. Are you surprised about the 2? Did you think it was going to be someone else? We'll kick the floor open starting with that. So I want to hear your opinions. Are you surprised to see Sophie and Odd here? And just we'll start with that. So who would like to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll start. I'm not very surprised at all. They're both extremely strategic. We were a final 3 alliance, so we were kind of working very closely together. And they kind of had their tentacles all over the place. They had relationships in the house, whether or not they, were lying to your face. They made sure that they kind of were off the block, except in the horror round. I don't even know if Odd went up at all, if anyone put him up. So strategically, socially, they played a great game. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Is anyone shocked that Sophie or Odd is in the end?
I'm not shocked, really. I mean, based on like some of the juror or loungers' perspective, there's some bitterness towards Sophie with the fact that she, I think, has lied or made other people feel some type of way. But she won enough challenges to keep herself where she is, so that little bit of like social game that she needed to make up for, she picked up with her challenges. So no, I'm not really. I guess I'm a little bit surprised with Odd, and like he played a quieter game. I didn't quite expect him to have been there through the game rather than playing with a solid alliance. But at the same time, I'm not surprised, because I went from wanting to nominate him the round I won CPU to having him as like my #2 pick, like #2 in my list of people that I was closest to before I left. My cat wants its time on air.
Hello, kitty. Awesome.
I'm shocked.
What are you shocked by, Jordan?
I thought it was if Sophie would have won, she would have picked Erica. That's what I honestly thought.
I thought, yeah, that's true.
Because the whole point of me, like, I was really afraid of like the girls teaming up, because I feel like girls teaming up is a smart idea to ensure like a female winner. And just like I knew, I just know like what Danielle would tell me, that Erica and Sophie knew each other like a little bit. So I'm honestly surprised that Erica is here right now. I mean, good for Sophie, I guess. Like I feel like it might be kind of harder to win against Erica, maybe with Odd. I feel like Erica might have a better reasoning.
They're not playing against each other to win. Like they can both win.
Right.
I know, like again, I would always want to win.
That's why it would have been better for her to keep Erica, they both could have won. But I see where she went. She wanted to make sure she won because let's keep it 100. What I do? Yeah, he got here, but what did he fucking do? Like he was like he didn't do nothing but kiss.
Did win the challenges for sure.
He won one challenge and still fucked up, and still didn't get the right people out. So he really didn't do nothing. All he did was hide behind Sophie and Erica, who was dragging him.
He did.
Who was he was getting dragged by Sophie, Erica, and Keaton and Jordan. Drag. He didn't have to do he really didn't have to do anything because they was dragging him to the end regardless.
That's also
I wasn't taking him to a final two. I wasn't taking him to a final two.
He was getting dragged regardless because he wasn't doing that. All he was doing was whoever won CPU, he would go and make sure he didn't get that. I mean, that's the only I guess that's the good thing because they wanted to put him up.
He was able to maintain his relationship with Sophie while going for the CPU, not making that relationship super like available to us. Like I didn't know it when he was talking to me anytime. Like when they were co-HHs or whatever there, co-CPUs.
I knew, but then nobody
but
wanted to do that.
That's the thing is you knew because everyone was going on. Y'all had alliances while I was sitting on the outside and didn't really know until Alan got in and filled me in. And then as everyone else started coming in, I was getting more information.
Right. And then keep in
mind,
I
was outside too, though.
He wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for me. If I wanted to switch my vote, Brian would have been here. If I wouldn't have switched that vote because Sophie and Erica and everybody else was voting him out. And if I didn't switch my vote back to him, he wouldn't have been there.
Same, that's true. But I'm not bitter. I like Odd. Odd is cool. I like
Odd too, but I know everybody was underestimating Odd, and I kept saying, do not underestimate Odd because he has a good social game.
But then that means if you're telling people not to underestimate him, you're saying that he does have a good social game and he has done stuff to get to where he is.
But then Sophie has a good social game and she has a good gameplay as well. Like she won comps.
Yeah, I can give her that. I can give her that.
I think that his flaw is
even though she's a liar, even though I think she's fake as fuck.
But she was able to pick up from being a liar and pick that up and cover it with her physical game. Sorry, Drew. I know you were going
okay, so I'm going to keep on the one question. We'll get on to the pros and cons of each, but I'm going to kick it to Erica. Are you surprised that Sophie did bring Odd over you?
Okay, for real, I'm a little surprised. I myself did not realize that they had like a final two from way back when, because I felt like I had a final two with Sophie from pretty much when Alan left. I was like, all right, girl, I guess it's you and me. But then I kind of quickly looped into a final three with Odd with her. It just kind of happened very fast. And maybe that should have been a clue, but it wasn't, because I did like Odd as well going into the situation of feeling down in the numbers. I wanted to work with Odd as well. So
I wanted you to put him up when you him and
so I knew kind of in my heart that Sophie would make it to the end regardless, because if Odd won, he would take her. If I won, I would take her. And obviously she had a high chance of winning herself. I did think that there was a perception that she and I are closer than he and Odd were. So I thought it would look bad for her game if she were to cut me. Now I didn't tell that to Odd, but I was thinking in the back of my head, like, I'm sorry, buddy, like if you don't win this, like Sophie and I are taking each other, but apparently I was dead wrong. So like it's a little embarrassing, but I'm not super surprised because there were a lot of eyes on Sophie with her relationship. Some of them up. I do feel dumb for not realizing.
I'm sorry,
You're
is there
not
music
done,
playing in the
we love
background?
you.
I hear
It's
music.
not mine, but I do hear
It
it.
might be, I don't know whose it was. Oh, was it Tamika's?
I couldn't focus. I don't know. It's like the ADHD, but I was like, I couldn't focus.
Oh, no,
at
you're
all.
okay.
But sorry about that. Continue, Eric. I'm sorry.
No, that's all. I am a little surprised. I did not realize how close they were, and I did think that she and I would both take each other. And I thought, even as much as I liked Odd, I couldn't take Odd over Sophie because it would look pretty bad for my game, being that it would appear that we were so close. And I thought the same would apply to her, so I feel a little dumb for not catching on to how close they were.
I knew that.
But I did.
I would have voted for Erica, bro, if it was Erica.
I would have too.
if you took out Sophie, I feel like you'd have been the ultimate player because.
Yeah, but everybody had a chance to take out Sophie, and she had all of y'all like in her palm of her hand. You too, Jordan. You could have just put when you was CPU. You should have put up Erica and Sophie, and Sophie probably would have
used the power wrong.
And then Keaton fucked up too, putting me and Erica. And he should have put up Sophie. He should have put up Sophie and Erica because them two is the one that was gunning for him the hardest.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know.
and then
what's the kicker is I never said that to Keegan. Like I was trying to be loyal to Sophie and Erica and not going to Keegan being like, these two girls are like gunning for you since what, level fucking 2? It's been level 2. Like, but he wanted to come after me for what? So that's where
I didn't like
karma,
that.
That's where
why I
his
wanted
karma
Erica
was.
So we're gonna.
That's where his karma was.
We are going to move. So that's just the generic feelings on shocking being there, shocking not. So we're actually going to move on to them as individuals, and we're gonna start with the pros on Odd's game. What are the pros of Odd's game that makes him a worthy winner?
I think the pro is that he did, I guess, getting good with a lot of people. So he really didn't have to get nominated or wasn't nobody really thinking of him like that. So I guess that's his pro. And then his other pro is that he chose the 2 winners, but that don't mean nothing to me. Like, that's it. Like, and
I think, he built strong enough relations well enough to shock people. Like, poor Erica, I honestly would have thought Sophie would have taken you too, and I thought like it was obviously you two until the end. So for that relationship to be have been kept under the loop from someone you're super close with, who neither one of them mentioned it to you. Like, I mean, yes, you were brought into a 3-person alliance, but they still picked each other over you in the end. And I mean, that happens in that final 3 alliance, but you and Sophie knowing each other longer, kind of, you would think that maybe that relationship would mean a little bit more, but I guess strategically it doesn't always. So for me, I think it's really good to build relationships, but also he strategically knew to keep that information kind of close to his chest.
But
and
again,
then he also play like he didn't know anything, but he knows what the fuck was going on.
That's a very good point.
And then
that's awesome.
And he was like, oh, like, why did Keaton play that? Like,
who was the blind agent, or like who won that challenge?
And then he knew what was going on, and then you can just tell by his mannerism, like he'll smile and like just like when Jordan left, like Jordan, like come on, dude, you don't have to be that cheesy, like that just so cheesy. So he just knew.
But in all reality, I think like I had to like wrap it up. But I feel like it could be any question, anything could go on. I genuinely feel like Sophie did play a better game than Odd because she won competitions and had the social game wrapped on her finger. So back to what Brittany was saying to Erica. I feel like it's not like anything fake like with Sophie or like with Odd going on. I feel like it's just the game. Like we signed up to get backstabbed. We signed up to get blindsided. Like that's how the game goes. Like I was hurt when Erica evicted me, but then again, we watched the show so many times and played these games. Like this is what we signed up for. So at the end of the day, is I feel like we can congratulate them. Like they made final two, but already. I'm sorry. Back to what I was saying. In our reality, it's just like this is the game and it is what it is. But I genuinely feel like Erica played a better game. But Odd, his like at the end of the day, I feel like with Odd, he had a good social game. But I feel like Erica just I'm getting so confused. Sophie just played a really better game, my opinion.
I am a little
We will-
annoyed
we
that
will
they both said, sorry, Drew again. They both said like they don't want to win unless they both win. And I just think that like, oh, I'll hand it to you or I'll hand
That ain't how
where
it's
the
supposed to
game
go.
is. And like you're kind of
Right.
what's happening to me is it feels like you are not counting my vote or my say in this game as anything really. And that is frustrating. Sorry.
That's okay. So
That part.
well, sticking on the topic of pros for Odd, Alan or Erica, do you have any pros for Odd's game?
Sorry, I do. I'm just like, sorry. I'm
I know
having
you
a hard time like focusing and collecting my thoughts. I mean, I don't know. I like Odd. He was loyal to me, I guess, when on the rounds when I was on the block. So thanks to him for that. I'm sorry. Now I feel like I don't know. I was so hyped up about them coming in here, and now I'm hearing everyone's thoughts, and I'm just kind of listening.
Thank
You
you,
know.
Erica. Alan.
I just kind of I do appreciate the under the level low radar game. It's just as appreciative of the lying backstabbing game as the challenge beast game. I appreciate all of the different aspects of how people want to get to the end. They beat us. And there's a reason why they beat all of us. And the reason why Odd beat all of us is because he secured a really great alliance with someone who was always going to be a target. And that in itself is a strategy. Is it enough to give him a crown? That's really for us to figure out. But we do have to remember that is a strategy.
Mm-hmm. That's true as well. Very true.
Awesome. So those are the pros for Odd. I know we've talked a little bit about it, but what are some cons to Odd's game? Why shouldn't he win this game?
He wasn't as visible, I guess, in the game. And he's less memorable than I would say that Sophie is as a game player when you think of the game. Like when I think of this game, I'm probably always going to think of Erica and Sophie because they were targeted together. And then add that on to Alan because the three of them were targeted from the get-go. And Alan was really the only one that really took the target until they had to turn on each other otherwise. So for me,
Sorry about that, by the way.
All love, brother. All love. Great move.
Okay.
Great play.
Okay. Woo,
All
woo.
love.
Thank God. Thank God. Woo. That still hit.
Mhm.
That still hit. Same with
You
Keaton. Oh, that hit.
What about
Mhm.
some other cons for Odd from some of the others of you?
The same
I
con
mean,
positive. Oh, sorry, Jordan.
Go
You go
ahead.
ahead. You first, buddy.
Love to Odd because like I said, I was itching between like Sophie and Odd final two, but I think more of Odd honestly. But he didn't win a lot of competitions, but again, you don't have to win a competition to be a known player because there's a lot of social players out there because you can manipulate your way to the end. But I feel like, and it's basically just praising Sophie again, but like I feel like he secured himself by just getting dragged along while people had to fight hard, play the social game and play the physical game by winning competitions to make it far. And then like, but I just feel like, yeah, he didn't do as much as like the next person, but I hate to bring up the pros of, because we're not on that subject yet. Like, I just feel like he didn't do as much, but maybe I don't know because I don't know because again, I didn't know there was a final three with Erica, Odd, and Sophie. So like, I don't know. but I just feel like as if he didn't do as much as Sophie, honestly. He didn't win that much competitions. He didn't show that he was this hard game player. Because he all he did was like socialize his way to final two, but we were getting dragged along by someone had to carry you. It's like dead weight. Someone had to carry him to final two. He didn't secure himself to final two. Like I didn't secure myself to final three. So that's why I can't complain about me not being in final three. I didn't win my way there. So it's like, it is what
But
it is.
you don't have to necessarily win challenges, because this is coming from me. I'm a weak challenge player, but I have made it to the end in games before, and I have won the game.
Oh no, me too. I recently won a Big Brother game, and I only won one HOH, and I got carried to final two by a guy who
But
won
you don't,
8
it
POVs
doesn't,
and 3
I don't
HOHs.
consider it, if you play a decent social game, it's not being carried. You're not being, as Derek Fraser would put it, backpacked to the end of the game. Or suitcase.
I mean, if it wasn't for like Sophie and Erica, and I don't think he would have, or Jordan, to be honest, or Keaton, he wouldn't have been there.
No, it is. Odd is an interesting player because he's the one person. Sorry, I cut you off. No, go ahead.
But like you said, he is an interesting person. So he finessed that. I can give him that.
But one thing that is like a little peculiar about Odd is he's, no shade to Odd if he watches this back, but he's probably the one person in our cast that I heard about, like people saying they don't click with Odd or they have a hard time like getting his sense of humor or whatnot. I think he had a pretty uphill battle in the social game because his relationships with people were awkward. I really liked Odd, so I found it surprising when I would hear this from other people that they have a hard time clicking with him. But I'm it's interesting to me that he made it so far using his social game when I do.
Yeah,
that's all I wanted to say. It's not necessarily a pro or a con. It's like, I guess, kind of a mix of both. I don't know how he's an interesting character.
I'm hugging Erica. I'm hugging her. I feel so hugging you, Erica.
Do we have any more cons for Odd that we'd like to share before we move on?
Great guy. Awesome guy though. All around awesome guy. Nice man. So he's a great dude.
I really like him. I think he's one of the funniest people.
I'm just surprised he did, to be honest, because he more so of a dude. So I'm surprised that he would kind of like gravitated towards Erica and Sophie because
I was so worried for this. But hey, you know, if you got played me, kudos to you.
He is mostly a guy's guy. So I'm like I'm really shook on that part that he like did gravitate towards Erica and Sophie. So I guess he proved me wrong that he can work with girls. Just not with me.
Awesome. So we are going to move on to Sophie. What are the pros for Sophie?
I think everyone said she had like super strong relationships with them and she won.
She made
crap comp. Doesn't mean that they're great relationships. She still had strong relationships. She made them strong enough to make you mad. To get mad, you had to care in the first place.
Oh,
true. Very true. That's why I'm probably mad because I thought I had a great relationship with Sophie and Erica. So yeah.
I want to hear what Alex. I know Alan, you know her a lot, so I want to hear like from your words, like how do you feel about like Sophie's gameplay?
Yeah, this is my second time playing with Sophie, and we played the same exact time this way we played the first time, and that's complete open honesty. We tell each other every single thing. Actually, there was one thing I did not tell her this game, and it was the only time I ever kept a secret, and that was Erica, you telling me about your power. I kept that a secret from Sophie. She did tell me that you told her about that.
Yeah, I told her the day after I told you.
Right. So that was the only secret I ever kept from Sophie. But
thank you for that.
Of course. she's very game smart. She's very game smart. She is thinking every single move, five moves ahead. You know, she's always thinking. The most loyal person I've ever worked with. So her loyalty to me is something that has been unmatched. Her social game, you guys all know, is completely unmatched. And she's killed it in the competitions, which wasn't her strong suit last season. But she killed it in the competitions. I mean, it's every aspect of the game. She dominated in my eyes.
Thank you, Alan. And then Erica, do you have anything to say on Sophie?
Yeah, I think she's really, really smart, just so intelligent, especially in these games. I mean, I don't know her outside of these games, so I don't know like if she's smart in other areas, but when it comes to like Big Brother and Survivor games, sometimes I felt like she and I were Pinky and the brain, and she was the brain. She's able to like just put together plans very quickly and also sell them much better than I could. I mean, the round that I stayed over, the round that Keaton went home, that was really her idea and her swaying. I tried my hardest to try to convince Jordan and Odd to keep me, and I was not coming across right. Like I was just like really like I was just really frustrated that no one wanted to cut Keaton, and they were just telling me to my face that it was not going to happen, that I was going home, and that there was nothing that they could do. No, it's a-okay. It's a-okay. But it was really Sophie who went to bat for me and tried to convince Ott and Jordan to force the tie, which the risk to force a tie is really ballsy. And I think she masterminded that. And I certainly didn't. I just went along with it. So honestly, I was afraid to get to a final two with Sophie because I can't think of a whole lot of moves that I made that I came up with by myself and executed correctly on my own. You know, she did a lot for me.
That's a good point, Erica. I feel like Sophie was always kind of in the know of every vote. She had like a hand in it. Somehow like the magic hand was just like of Sophie was just like it was in every single vote. So that's a really good point.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any pros for Sophie? Okay, then we're going to move over to the cons of Sophie's game. What would make her not worthy of winning?
I think she's obviously made some people mad.
Pissed.
She's also been super visible and a target the entire game. So she was not able to play an under the radar game.
Right.
At all. There's no point where she could be.
Her getting, well, y'all. When I was on the block with Erica, knowing that me and Amanda like knew each other before. Like I never played with Amanda, but I hosted Amanda. So I knew Amanda. So for her to have Amanda to vote me out, that I guess that's the pros and cons on both ends. I'm shook at that because how? Like, and then I took her off the block.
Shouldn't have done it. I told you, you shouldn't have done it.
I shouldn't have. But I was in alliance with her, and I was thinking, okay, well, since we have this alliance, I'm gonna have to put, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to be loyal and be like, you know, I'm gonna take y'all off the block. And I didn't know who was gonna be the renom after that. Because they might have talked about it behind the scenes, but I didn't know that they were gonna put up Keaton and you. I was thinking maybe the only choice was probably Erica and Jordan. That's
so
what I was thinking.
There was a plan behind the scenes with Odd.
I thought so.
To take me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I would have knew.
Yeah.
I wish I would
I
have
knew
knew.
as soon as I went up,
Well-
I was like, it's not Keaton, it's me.
Obviously,
my-
to
I
make that
thought it was
point-
Keegan because it was dumb. It would have been dumb to keep him. In my opinion, it would have been dumb.
Well,
Do we
he
have-
stayed and I went, so
Do we have any other cons for Sophie that we can think of? What are some cons?
Puppet Master.
Yeah, she was that.
does she have a little
she
bit
got,
too much control? I mean, I know that like she did good in the game and stuff like that,
I
but
just wish she wasn't
not
so
leaving
fake.
space for error, maybe.
it's tough in this like type of format because like she constantly won, so she always had to make decisions. So like she really couldn't kind of come up for air at all. I feel like she knew she was kind
I
of.
don't think that there's a whole lot of people that are mad at her. I mean, I personally was frustrated when I left, but I was frustrated for a lot of reasons.
Right.
I felt like that round was messy. I don't feel like it was just her, and she's lucky she had another like co-CPU with her at that point. Plus, then there was the veto use and stuff like that. So like there was a whole lot of people that I could be frustrated with.
Right.
But
Right.
I know like the only person that seemed like absolutely fine. You're very like you're like welcome to your feelings, obviously. So I think that she kind of locked out that way, whereas like she had control the entire game and didn't really piss off all of the jury or lounge.
I'm proud of her. I can't complain. It's a game. We signed up for this.
Or be quiet.
Oh, we can
Be
complain,
quiet.
and we will.
Yes, we can. We can play. Good boy, be quiet on that. Because that's a lie.
I mean, like, we signed
That's
up.
a lie. Yeah,
No.
we did,
Yeah,
but
we
we
can
ain't
still
signed up
complain
for
about
all. We
it.
can still complain if the moves were fucked up. It was fucked up.
Hey, we had a chance to play these competitions, and I'm still hurt. I'm still grieving too. I'm still grieving, but
Me too,
You
but
were inactive for like 2 rounds. You came back and you were
But-
like, I
but then-
forgot I was in a game.
And
But
then
I could have got me out. But then I came back, and then I on, and then I sent Alan home. Unfortunately, like, hey, and then you gave me your power. You gave me your
Yeah.
power.
And then Keaton took it and used it.
why
wrong.
would you do
God.
it? Why?
Why
Didn't
would
take-
I do that?
That was why.
I did that because I knew I was leaving and I needed to make my damn mark on the game.
No, not you. Not you. I'm talking about why would he give it to Keaton?
Keaton needed to put
like-
up Erica. Here's the thing.
No,
if Keaton
why
was at
he-
the end,
no,
I'd
why-
be yelling at him for not using the power right.
I'm
So
just
we
saying.
can, so all of this could be, I'm gonna move it along. This will be discussed at reunion if you ever want any answers or questions
I'm already-
to that. But we have any other cons? If we do not, we are going to move on.
I have one more pro for
Yep.
Odd, and I
Go for
don't
it.
think it should be forgotten about. He got Sophie to take him to the final 2 over Erica. That blows my mind. That's unbelievable gameplay. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So we got a decision if we want 2 players or 1.
Yeah, so that was gonna be,
Oh,
sorry,
was-
go ahead, Erica.
I was just
Go
going
ahead.
to say on that note, it is kind of a pro for Odd because he didn't know that he was going to make it to the end, and he still left an opportunity for 2 winners. He was the one who chose this ending, so it could have been any 2 of us, and I think that was kind of sweet of him, and that's nice. I like that. That's a pro for Odd in my book.
So before we get to the 2 kind of the pros and cons of that, I'm going to kick it over to Val.
Hi, jury. My question to everybody is how important is the jury management? Do you think it's important as winning comps or being a social player?
I think it's very important. To me, I'm way more of jury management of your social game and how you were with me You know what I'm saying? I don't just go by because you won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 comps to say that means you have to do that because what you were doing something to save your life, because you were out there, you had to keep constantly winning because you was constantly getting targeted. So I feel like jury management is a big key for me to get my vote. Jury, like top notch.
So Tamika's is jury management. How about you, Brittany?
I think it's a third, and a third. I think that, not saying that they all have the same weight, because it depends on the person that's really deciding and how they're voting and the relationship that you have with the person. Because I don't know, like say you're looking at Sophie and you might not have had a social relationship with her, or like Tamika had, it may have ended not so pleasantly. But maybe she's a person that, well, in this case, she really values that relationship, obviously. So she's going to think more towards that. But then there might be someone that's like, oh, I can put that aside and think more about like the physical part. So like all three are important, but to the person that's voting, I think that it's going to weigh differently. And for me, I want to say social is a little bit more important to me rather than the physical and the competitions, because you have to have that social aspect to be able to be there each round to do the competitions.
Okay. Thank you, Brittany. I'm going to kick it over to Alan.
Yeah, I think the social aspect is definitely the most important. Getting to know people personally, not just on a game level, I think is pretty important. Even if it's just surface. But when it comes to jury management, I think it's a little different with this format, with the ending here, because you can, kind of backstab and lie and cheat, and still get a little bit of respect from us. And for example, I loved getting voted out, next to Sophie, and Jordan was sitting at the end. Because that's what gets me the respect. So it kind of is all about like what's us as individuals, what we like, because someone might not like getting voted out and giving you a vote to win, but that's what the game's about for me. So that's what I like.
Awesome. Thank you, Alan. Tamika, did you already went, right? Yeah, you already went. Jordan.
Well, hopefully I'm not a hypocrite, but I know like throughout the game I was like jury management. But again, it's like with these competitions, we played the game to win and just survive for ourselves, because this is a selfish game. Like this is a game on surviving and trying to get yourself to the end, not trying to carry someone to the end. So I feel like you had to win competitions to secure your own safety. Again, it's good. I believe in jury management. But at the same time, though, like us in jury, it's not as if, Odd or Sophie, they disrespected us, they belittled us, they were mean to us. They just played the game how, like, they know how to play the game, honestly. They played the game socially, and they had to lie a little bit and manipulate, which sucks. So I feel like they both played the game in equal opportunities when it comes to jury management. They weren't mean to us. They didn't do anything bad to us. They just lied and they played Big Brother. So I feel like when it comes to that aspect, like I feel like competitions are more of a way in this, like they outweigh the jury management in this game, because like if you're winning competitions, you're surviving more. Because right now it just feels like it's caught in like in between with Odd and Sophie when it comes to this jury management, because like I don't know if y'all are still bitter or like if Odd played better or Sophie played better, but I feel like right now, I feel like the competition's honestly, like, in my opinion, though, the competition's way more, honestly. Because you played the game better. You played the game harder, Me, though, that's me. I don't know. Hugs, Erica.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm going to kick it over to Erica.
I love Jordan so much. Oh, shit, I'm on.
You're fine, Alex.
Jury management is important. I think a lot of that though hasn't come out yet because we still have one last chance to hear from them. I assume, right? In Big Brother, we still have, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, they're gonna
Bible Council, but like
yeah, they'll have their opening statements and you'll all get a question for them or statement.
right. So I know like I know I was really actually pretty nervous about the possibility of being in a final two because there are things that I regret, especially like with the round when Taimiko left. And I felt really terrible about like, I don't know how Sophie was with you, but I felt terrible because I just didn't know what to say. And I felt like anything I said would come across so fake. And so I just kind of ghosted you. And I really, really regretted it. And I really wanted a chance to get to clear the air with you, but it was too late. So I hope that maybe you'll get a chance to talk to Sophie and maybe clear the air a little bit about that. Because I think there is a little bit that remains to be seen with the jury management. Sorry if I'm not making any sense. I feel really discombobulated right now.
No, you're good.
You're good.
So there's still some management left to do there.
I'm still
Thank
here,
you
by the
so
way.
much
I'm still
for
here,
that.
Sorry.
Thank
you're
you
fine,
so
Ellen.
much for answering my burning questions. And I'm curious to see how the rest of the game plays out.
Awesome. And then I have one final one, and then if Sandy or Gwen have any, but my last one is, so we know Odd won the alternate ending challenge, and he got to dictate how the end game was going to play. And that was the decision of the co-op, which means tomorrow you will hear both of them out, and you will have to decide after you hear both of them, yes, I think Sophie should win. No, I think Sophie shouldn't win. Or yes, I think Odd should win. No, I don't think Odd should win. You will be sending in a yes or no vote, or sorry, a yes or no debug for both players. Now, with the format that it is, do you think just because it's the format and they both got there that they both should win? Or do you think that still in this situation, you feel it's justified to only have one winner? Who can walk me through their thoughts on that?
I don't personally know where my mind is on that right now. Because, I mean, while it's a cool twist, I don't really know if I feel like I like the idea of two people winning the game, or as opposed to like, I'm used to one person winning the game and being able to say that they're like the sole survivor and I Survivor or Survivor games and stuff like that. So it's like kind of just going to say like, if we're gonna say like more than one person should win, I feel like almost it should be three people because Erica played just as hard as the other two, if not harder. But yeah, I feel only one person should win, I think, at this point, but I don't know. I don't know where I will become my vote.
So Brittany right now is leaning
the
toward
challenge, y'all.
Yeah, this is what the challenge is coming with this final format. It's a different format that we haven't seen. So you as a lounge think both should win. Am I torn and I want to give them both a chance? Am I torn but still only want one to win? Am I torn and I don't want either of them to win? It's totally.
But what if I want both of them? What if I like both of them to win, but I don't want two people to win? Like that's the struggle I'm having.
Exactly. Then you have to, that's you as a lounger to decide, well, if that's the case, who am I giving my yes to and who am I giving my no to? Or do I give them
What
both
if I give
yeses?
them both no's just to fuck with them?
You can do that as well. That's your decision as a lounger as well, because remember, if neither of the two final gamers receive 5 yeses, say they both receive 4 yeses, it reverts back to normal Big Brother and only one person will win. That's why when you send your yes and no's, you're also going to send in who you would vote for if it fell back to that format. So keep that in mind. But Brittany's leaning right now towards, I feel like it only should be one. Alan, you're up next on the lounger list. How do you feel about that? What's your opinions?
So I think I said this to Sandy in like my final confessional is I truly believe that if anyone makes it to the end, they deserve it. They deserve to be there. Now, final tribal or final debugging, I've seen go horribly wrong. Erica has also seen a final tribal go horribly wrong, where it has completely swayed my mind on a vote. And so I'm truly leaving it up to the two potential winners to sway me. Because right now there is someone who definitely will have my vote, but I've seen a lot of things happen where it's been swayed. And there's someone who might need to work a little bit harder. And I hope that they know that. So I'm up for it. I'm up for having two winners, but I'm also not going to just, throw my vote to someone who made it to the final two. They got to earn it.
Awesome. Thank you, Alan. I'm going to kick it over to Tamika. You're up next. If
She's
you're,
muted.
you're on mute, Tamika, if you're talking. We have a late joiner. There's Keaton. Hello, Keaton. We'll get
Good
your
morning.
We'll get
Sorry,
your
what'd you
opinions
say?
after we go. It's okay. So your feelings on the question of, even though we have the option of two winners, do you think just because they both made it there, they both should win? Or are you leaning like, nah, I think there should be one winner kind of feeling?
With me, it would depend on who the two was.
With the two,
Now, now I feel like one of them should win. It should be one winner. That's
Okay.
it.
Thank you, Tamika. I'm going to kick it over to Jordan. How do you feel about it? Because I know it seemed like your journey along this game was, if I get to the end, I want to be able to beat the person. So are you still in the mindset that there should only be one winner, even though you knew potentially there could be two winners?
One winner, because what on green earth is two winners? Like, we came to have one winner. I didn't fight all season to like be a duo. Like, what? Like, I didn't come all season to have a partner. Like, oh, let's share this $500,000. Like, I came here to be like, I'm the number one. Like, I came here, I fought. Like, me, like, honestly, I know I was saying like, oh, I want two winners. I was lying. I wanted to win because I didn't come here to like backpack on Keaton, or I didn't come have some backpack on me. Like, I wanted to try to beat this. I wanted to be the sole winner. I wanted to fight my way and say why I deserve to win. And if I didn't win, I didn't win. I feel like we all came here to be that one winner. This is not Big Brother duos of a duo winner. This is like the server thing is Survivor thing. Like, this is
You're gonna be a Johnny Bananas and take that money.
Oh
and
no,
run.
please don't no.
So Jordan,
But yeah, I feel like there should be one winner. Because I feel like we're all individuals, we're all unique. One, so I feel like there should have been one winner.
So Jordan's still on the one winner train. Erica, how do you feel about it? So I know as you departed, you wish them both luck and things like that, but now that the dust has settled, how are you feeling?
I'm still open to the idea of two winners. They're both still pretty much in my good graces. If I had to make a choice right now, yeah, I'd go for it, fine, but I have been in the situation of that last debugging going so horribly wrong. And being that I was particularly close with both of them, especially Sophie, I mean, she should know better than to say something that will make me mad, but like, since I worked so closely with both of them, there is a good chance that they could say something that might just make me super emotional. Like if they throw me under the bus or try to say that like they carried me as a number, as a goat, like, they have to.
Hugo.
If anyone calls me a
Hugo
goat,
did
they're
that.
not getting my vote. That's just an honest thing on my
So
part.
I've seen it go totally sideways. I don't think either of them will do that, but never say never. So.
That is true. Thank you, Erica. And Keaton, you were here for this question, so I'll ask you your opinions. Do you think there should be one, or just because Odd picked the co-op, do you think they both got there? So
they both have the opportunity to pitch their case to win. It's a unique situation where they aren't trying to beat the other. All they're trying to do is prove why they should win. That's it. That's all they got. That's all they got to do. So if they end up having two winners, power to them. They fucking both got to the end. They got one thing left to do. Convince us to vote them. For me,
Don't shit the bed.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Odd already did that for me, so he's fucked there. As I was leaving, I told him there's no way in fucking hell he's voting for me because the motherfucker, nah, fuck that. That pissed me off to no fucking end. The fact that he voted himself, the fucking pussy shit. Nah, at most one person's getting my vote, and that's
Wait,
it.
he voted for himself?
Yes, and in the fucking final six, he voted for himself instead of making a decision because he kept his word. Jordan made a promise to me and he broke it, and I respect that more than voting his fucking self.
I'm sorry about that, by the way.
No, Jordan, I respect you way more than I do Odd for what the fuck he did. That's fucking annoying. But if they both, hi.
And you're fine. I'm choking. Sorry.
That was
Don't die.
Which now that you're here, we'll just get your thoughts in case you had other thoughts than what they had. Do you have any pros, cons about both of the final two?
I feel like they play two vastly different games, and mostly because they kind of were based on how a lot of the comps went. They kind of had to. So, Sophie, fucking comp powerhouse, was able to have a lot of power throughout the season and was able to dictate her game a lot more than Odd was. Odd had to. Sophie played offensively. Odd played defensively, and that's just how it went for them. I think Odd played defense really well. Quite honestly, he was able to make those deals and the connections that he had to throughout the game to get himself further in. But that, and for me, my issue with him is that he never wanted to commit to anything. That was from Odd. That's my biggest issue. He never wanted to try and actively make a move or do something. All it was in his mind was live. And while that works to get to the end, sure. In his case, he didn't have something that he built up to the point where it was just live. Now, if I said that, I feel like there would be two completely different things there. But he didn't have to, he wasn't at the point where he was trying to protect himself. He just wanted to protect himself. Meanwhile, Sophie lied off her fucking ass the entire goddamn season, BS just about every fucking person that is sitting here at this point. Me more so than anyone else. And with everything,
I've missed you so much, Keaton.
I'm enjoying myself right now. With that she is sitting there right now, because there were opportunities for her to go. Just case in point, I should have fucking retrospect should have put her up, but at that point,
I hate you for not doing that.
But she played me. She had me believing that I was really close to her and that I could trust her, despite the fact that
she has a very comforting way about her. She definitely has a way of making you feel safe and special, you know.
That she did, because I could have went to Keaton, like I said, I could have went to Keaton and said, "Hey, Keaton, Erica and Sophie are planning to get you. They've been planning to get you from fucking level fucking 2." And
I feel like it's all you have to say. If you did that, that's all.
But I was being loyal, and now when I say I was being loyal, and then hey, I was closer to Sophie and Erica than you, so I had that respect for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't.
She would have never done that for you.
That's what I'm saying. I figured that out in level fucking 3, and I'm like, yep, she's totally fake. That just I knew it.
To finish off the question, I think the biggest con for Sophie is the fact that she lied so much. That can leave a lot of bitter taste. So I don't know I know that there's a non-zero amount of people here that feel a little towards the way that she ended up playing, especially how they treated them. So I think her biggest issue is trying to show that it made sense for her to lie as much as she did, which will be a hard thing to do for some people. But I think that's going to be her biggest concern.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear from you on that as well. Sandy, Gwen, do you have anything for our lovely loungers?
Nope.
Thank you, Gwen. Sandykins, do you have anything if you are here?
I do not. I love all of you. Thank you for coming. You guys are great. Alan, thank you for coming back.
Yes,
Give me the
thank you.
hard key in. But yeah, it's been a great season, a fantastic group of people. All of your winners in my book. And yeah, hope to
Yeah.
see you guys in the future in one of our other long terms, minis, possibly alive. Wink, wink.
An entire All-Stars cast of everyone from season 1. Lounge on.
Fuck no, I don't want to play with any of you again.
Keaton, friends off then.
Keaton, if I see you anywhere, final 2 deal already, my friend. Me and you
Period.
all the way.
Here,
Period.
Alan.
Me too.
Honestly, Drew, say less too. Honestly, because maybe this time you won't fuck me over.
Y'all going down. Y'all going down.
But I want to thank you for taking some time out of your night to do this round
I
table.
have another question to ask Drew.
Oh,
See,
you go.
that's the reason why I'm gonna come and visit you in your alfalfa hair. I had another question.
Go for it.
I'm just playing. I love all of y'all. And I love giving Drew such a hard time. It's so fun.
Roll
But
my
I
eyes.
love you, Drew. You did an
I love you
amazing
too.
job.
Thank
And if I
you.
could critique or each and every one of y'all how y'all play, I will do so when the game is over. I love y'all. And there was a couple things I wanted to yell at y'all for the stuff that y'all were doing, but I couldn't. But it's amazing. It was amazing to watch you guys play, honestly.
Yes,
Thank you.
I agree, concur with what Val said, but thank you so much for taking time out of your night to be here to do this round table. Again, tomorrow is finale night where Odd and Sophie will plead their case to you on why they deserve a winner's title as Ultimate Gamer. That is our next step. So either prepare a question for one or both of them or a statement. We're going to go old school. Everyone will get a turn to ask. You'll probably have about 2-3 minutes, so it doesn't drag too long from asking your question for them to answer. And then once they answer, they will give a closing, and then you will cast a final debug for if they should win or not. And then anyone who's there left over, we will have a reunion with those even from the pre-lounge phase if they want to be there. So that's all I have for you now. Again, this is going to be posted after the season. Also, our cast assessment that we did night 0 of all of you will go up at the end of the season. Again, hopefully no hard feelings. Those are just our thoughts and opinions at the beginning of the game on how we all thought you were going to do. You will know we talked about all of you, and then I made sure all of us went around and said who they thought would win, because I always like hearing that when I see cast assessments. So yeah, I just want to say thank you all from the bottom of my heart again for playing and taking a chance on this new season. And I will see you all tomorrow.
Love you. Bye.
Love
Good
you
to see
all.
you guys.
Good to see y'all too. Y'all have a great night.
No.
Then don't.
Congrats, Erica.
Love you guys.
Love you all.